In this video, I'm going to talk you through how to stitch the marigolds from our Botanicals range. So first up, what's in the kit? You have got this large booklet of embroidery stitches. Now this booklet covers the stitches used throughout all our Botanicals range, so you won't be using all these stitches on the marigolds, but it's a useful reference guide for you as you stitch. Then the companion to this is our specific marigold stitch guide, and on this you have, on the reverse, some high resolution images of the marigolds embroidery, and this is so you can refer to these pictures to help you when you're stitching with things like stitch direction, just to know you're on the right track. Then on this side we have the really important instruction sections. Now marigolds is a really simple embroidery design. The complexity from marigolds comes from the size of the stitches, not the technique of the stitches. And so really here we're using satin stitch, split stitch and a back stitch. But what's hard about this design is that each of these stitches is quite small, and so it's quite a time-consuming one to stitch. It's a really good exercise in practicing these types of stitches. I'm going to show you a little bit of stitching each area, but what's really important to bear in mind is we also have separate videos showing you how to do things like satin stitch, split stitch, so if you're at all unsure after having watched this video, you can also go refer to those. Now the plan that's printed here also matches the design that is printed onto the fabric. So we've printed all those lines on the fabric, and you've also got in your fabric two needles, a large eye and a small eye. You might find it easier to stitch with one of these particularly. Personally, I always quite like stitching with a large eye needle, just because why struggle threading your needle? This should be fun. But if you like using a smaller one, we also provide you with one of those. Really important to bear in mind is that the ink on the design is permanent, so you have to cover all the white marks when you're stitching. You'll see, and I'll mention that a few times as I start demonstrating the stitching, but that's just something to bear in mind. You can't remove the white lines after. Alongside the design, you also then have your threads, and these threads all correspond to the numbers on the plan. So you'll see I've got number 1, my pale green, number 7, my darker green, and then I've got these colours as well. So as you start stitching, you'll be able to easily correlate which is the colour to which bobbin of thread. So let's get some stitching going. I'm going to start just with a little section of a flower, just to show you how to do it. You'll be able to then translate that across the board. I'm going to put my hoop on. Now I'm working here with my hoop in a hoop stand. I'm only doing that for the purpose of this video. You do not need to use a hoop stand for your work. It's something which I personally don't find particularly helpful, but when I'm filming, it helps hold the things steady. So I'm going to start this flower. The way to do it is I refer to my stitch plan, and I can see I'm going to stitch this top section in colour number 1, and that's what I'm going to show you. So I'm going to take an arm's length of thread. I'm going to separate out 3 strands, and I'm going to tie a knot. So I'm going to just start stitching this area. I'm going to bring my needle up on one side. As I said, the white marks are permanent, and therefore in order to make sure that you don't leave yourself with any of those showing at the end, I just always bring my needle up beyond the line. Now when you're doing a satin stitch, really don't worry about how neat you are to begin with, because the important thing with satin stitch is it's super forgiving. Once you stitch a section in, if you feel like there's a gap or some area which doesn't look as neat as you'd like it to, you can always go back, as I'm doing here, and you can put another stitch into a gap. So you can work in quite a haphazard way with your satin stitch, and no one would ever be able to tell in the finished piece. You can put your stitches in and then just go back and fill in sections. So as I get down to where the leaf is going to join, again, if you're interested and you're not sure quite how you want to fill in, do take a look and you can sort of see in the pictures how the leaves join. I show you here, the way I'm doing it is I'm stitching the whole stem always horizontally, and I'm going to use vertical stitches across the leaves. So I'm just going to do that here. I'm just going to stitch down beyond the end of the leaf, imagining that the stem is carrying on down. So I've now gone down beyond the leaf. I'm going to go back in and using my satin stitch, I'm just going to stitch one side of the leaf first. You could stitch across the whole leaf, but part of the beauty of this design is creating that feeling of the vein running down the centre of the leaf. Part of what makes this design interesting, despite the fact it's stitched in really simple stitches, it feels really special because of the fact it's using these interesting stitch directions. And so that's the bit I really want you to kind of bear in mind when you're stitching this design, is don't try stitch it in the quickest way, but try stitch it in the most beautiful way, which is by going in and leaning into the details of the leaves, the angles of the leaves, and also creating the vein in the leaf. So just to show you a little section of this, I've stitched the bottom half of the leaf. And I'm going to go back in. I'm going to stitch top half. And you see I'm going into the vein in the middle of the leaf. And that's how we're going to stitch all the leaves throughout the marigold. So you can see again here, I've got all these leaves using these stitches coming in, down the stems, and every so often I switch from a pale green to a darker green, but that's only because I'm following the plan here, which sets out which bits are paler and which are darker. So what I'm going to do now is just tie off my thread, and remember when you mount up these finished pieces, you end up securing them in place on foam board. So you want to kind of secure your thread on the back here. I'd do it, wrap it under a few times, tie a knot. But you don't need to be really careful with how you secure it, because when you mount the piece, you'll also add a secondary layer of securing in place. So now I'm just going to show you a little bit of the flower head, which is stitched in a split stitch. I'm just going to show you a little bit from here, the outer yellow going into the inner yellow, just to give you an idea. I'm going to separate out 3 strands. Now it's always good practice to wind the remaining 3 strands back onto your bobbin once you've finished. So I'm going to start, firstly, just move my hoop round just to get myself to a more comfortable angle for stitching. And I'm now going to start on this outer border section here. And again, just so you really can see, that's what's marked up in the colour plan as well. So I'm going to go in and I'm just going to stitch and over stitch again beyond the white lines some of this yellow. And you can see the first line that goes in here is very much the same as doing a satin stitch. I'm basically just filling this section in. The bit where we start splitting the stitch really comes into its own once we add in the second colour. So I've just got a little section there, just enough for you to be able to see the next stage from. So I'm going to tie my thread off on the back. You would keep going for longer than I am there, but I just want to demonstrate here. My hoop goes back on and I'm going to choose my next colour, which is the pale yellow in this case. I'm going to take off my 3 strands again and thread up my needle. So I'm going to bring my needle up in the middle of the last outer stitch, and that's where we differ now. So that's why I'm going to work from the outwards in. So I'm going to bring it up in the middle. And the aim here is I start kind of blending together. By bringing it up through the other yellow, I'll end up having a bit of that yellow showing through. And it starts making it all just feel really kind of blended together. And that's the beauty of a split stitch. So you can see there how I've started blending the colours together. And it's really simple. You're just going to continue working in that way where you start blending together the colours until you get to this effect where you've got kind of the red coming in. And so it's going to take loads of stitching, but it creates a really beautiful finished piece. And that's really as simple as this design is. The only section which is left to do is the wording, and that's done in a back stitch. So you can see here how that's stitched in a back stitch. Back stitch is a really simple stitch, so I'm not going to demonstrate it for you here, but there is a separate video showing you the process of how to do that if you haven't done a back stitch before. And I really hope you enjoy stitching this kit. At the end of it, you will be an absolute master of satin stitch.